Hey, you guys, hope you're still staying active. I'm at home right now, just filled up my water bottle. The weather's nice outside, so what a perfect time for an outdoor run. I got my treadmill downstairs for when it's cold, but 55 seems reasonable enough to go out and enjoy the nice weather. So I've already done my stretching, and I'm gonna run for a 5K today. So for those of you who know how long a 5K is, that is 3.1 miles. So it should take me somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes. And I'll show you how it looks in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So I'm gonna turn on my trackers on my watch and on my phone, and I'll be right back when I get started. So as you can see, I got my headphones in. Check both ways before I cross any streets. Now, since I'm running for 3.1 miles, I don't want to go super fast, but I do want to get something that's going to get my heartbeat going, my lungs breathing, and I want to do something I'm proud of. And I also want to think about how well I've done in the past and compare today's run to runs I've done before and try to do as good or better than that. So it's not easy to talk, but I can talk. So I will be back about halfway through at the turnaround point, which for those of you guys good at math, let's see if you can cut 3.1 in half and let me know what it is, because that's when I'll be turning around. See you then. Whew, man, I just hit my halfway point. Rockefeller Lane. Now, some of you might have been interested in doing the math on what half of 3.1 was. So, if you don't want to know the answer before you do the math yourself, pause the video now and go ahead and do the math. 1.55. That's 3.1 cut in half. So when I hit 1.55 when I'm doing a 5K, I know I made it halfway. And if I had a starting point and I didn't have a circle, that means turn around and go back exactly the way I came, and I should do exactly my total run. So if you were doing a 1 mile run and you were running away from your home, you could take turns, and you don't have to go in a straight line. You can turn when you need to, but when you get to half mile, a whole cut in half is a half, right? When you get to the half mile point, that's when you know it's time to turn around and go back. Now, as you can see, I'm sweating pretty good. My lungs were breathing pretty heavy. That means I pushed myself pretty hard. I didn't push myself so I couldn't do the other half of the run, because that's when you'll really be exhausted. So you got to balance your energy out throughout the run. So I'm walking right now because it's hard to talk while recording. But a couple things I want to remind you guys. Woo, sweaty. I want to remind you guys that if you have the chance to run on dirt or grass, thank you. Make sure you make eye contact with drivers when you're crossing the street. You don't want to get yourself hit by one of those. But if you have the chance to run on grass or dirt or even asphalt, that's the darker surface you see on streets, those are much better than running on concrete. See, I'm walking on the concrete right now, but right there's a bike lane that I can jog in to keep myself safe. I don't recommend doing this by yourself, you guys. If you're in a street like that one, make sure you're with adults. But if you have a cul-de-sac, that's a street with no exits or entrances except for one, where it comes into a corner on the end, you can run in circles around that without worrying about too much traffic. Still got to look both ways when you cross, but not too much traffic in that sense. But concrete itself, like the sidewalk I just showed you, is really bad for your knees and your other joints like your ankles too, even your spine. So if you jog on it a little bit, that's all right. But I don't do long distance runs on the concrete. Walking is going to be okay for me. But once I start jogging again, I'm going to be back on that asphalt or the dirt or grass. Also, you're not going to be your best every time. And if you're jogging with other people, there's a chance they might be quicker than you. Now, this isn't a fast thing. This is a endurance thing. Endurance is when you go for a long distance and you have to control your pace and your speed as you go. But you want to do your best, and it's not your fastest, it's your best. It's being able to jog as much as you can without walking. Remember, there's going to be other people who can just go faster than you, though. They can keep their endurance a little bit longer. So instead of getting discouraged and sad and disappointed and not trying again, just remember that you're doing your best. And remember, today's best might not be the same as yesterday's best. It could have to do with the temperature outside, or if you just ate a meal or not. A lot of things come into play when you're going running. What kind of meal you ate. If you ate fast food, the run's going to be a lot harder than if, say, you had a salad like I had today for lunch. I had grilled chicken with a salad. I even put some tasty stuff in it, like dried cranberries and dates and walnuts. It was delicious. And I feel really good for my run today. Actually, I think it's about time for me to finish this second half, so I'll see you guys at the finish line. See ya. So I'm not all the way home yet, but I'm pretty close. And this is when I start to think to myself, do I have extra energy to push myself harder? Because hard's not impossible. When something's difficult, you just got to dig deep and think, can I do this? Can I go harder? Can I push myself more? And right now, I know I can. So I'm going to push a little harder, see you near the finish line. My home's right around the corner. I'm going to really pick it up now. Oh, I can rest when I'm done, right? I don't need to rest now. Let's go. Oh. Woo, this burns. Burning is good sometimes. Look both ways while I'm crossing. Oh. Here we go. Almost there. All the way. Oh. Here we are. At my home. Ooh. Ooh. Another awesome run. As you can see, it's pretty difficult for me to talk right now. That's okay, that just meant I pushed myself. When we push ourselves, it makes us prove that we can do more than we even thought we could. And you know what? Sometimes during it doesn't feel so great. But I tell you what, the feeling afterwards, to know that I did something really hard and I didn't give up, that's the best part. That's the really good part. Make sure to drink a lot of water when you're done. Not juice or milk or soda, just water. Cold water might be a little hard for your body to take right away. So maybe just slightly cold water. Oh. Yeah, those runs feel really great. So you don't have to do a 5K. You could do a half a mile, 2 miles. Whatever makes you feel like you're pushing your limits a little bit without going so far that you can't handle it at all. Remember, there's going to be times where it's difficult. You know, it just reminded me today that something like a salad helps me run a lot better than something like fried chicken, which might be delicious, but it's not going to help you run very well. It's not going to help you with these endurance activities that you have to push yourself harder than normal. So choose your food wisely, right? I'm glad I did today because the run felt great. And even though I'm beet red and super sweaty, I actually feel really good. And you know what? It's interesting. Some days when I don't exercise, I feel like taking a nap. Sometimes after I come home from school, I want to take a nap because I'm really tired. The days that I do an exercise, like running, for example, I don't feel like taking a nap. It's like I did something that tired me, but it energized me at the same time. So get your siblings, get your parents, get your neighbors, small groups, but give this a shot. Give an endurance run a shot sometime this week. I bet you'll feel like you worked yourself really hard, but you'll feel really good and really proud of yourself as well. So this is At Home PE with Mr. McG. All I gotta say is stay active and enjoy the extra time you have with your families. How lucky are you? Later, taters.